Beamer. Beamer.
What's a hair day? There's so many different types of hair days. Getting a relaxer can be very painful.
All right, I gotta go to the hospital, guys. It's been a horrible bus accident. Bye.
Now, yeah, you do. You gave away all of your snacks yesterday. Oh.
Welcome to this week's edition of Forever Kayla. I'm sitting here with a friend of mine, Victoria.
Hi.
I don't know if you want people to know your last name.
Yeah.
So, okay. I'm with Victoria Beeks. She's an assistant line producer on
Blackish,
Mixed-ish, Grown-ish. And she's here to give people some pointers and things that she's learned in the industry as a Black woman, African-American woman, woman of color. There's many different ways to say it, and I know some of you guys had questions about how to get in the industry, what you should be looking for, how to do it, so I'm giving you guys some free tips today. So Victoria, I don't know if you want to tell everybody kind of how you ended up in the industry or what your path was, where you went to school, all of that good stuff.
Okay, I'll surmise it. I went to Spelman College. I was an econ major, and then I went to DePaul University, and I have a master's in journalism, thinking that I wanted to pursue being a reporter. So I had a dream one night that
This girl's like
I literally had a dream one night that I was a reporter for the YBF.com. And a friend of mine at the time knew the owner, and I told my friend the next day about my dream, and he was like, oh, I know such and such. I was like, no way. I reached out, or they connected us, or we were in contact, and a month later I was doing red carpets.
And what is YBF for people that don't know?
Oh, the Young, Black, and Fabulous. And from there I started doing junkets, red carpets, and I ended up creating my own movie review series. Pass the Popcorn, which
Where's that?
where is that? Goodness, I'm gonna have to start name dropping places and studios I worked with. Who was Pass the Popcorn? It was with Interactive One, TV One. Nice. So Interactive One was their digital.
Nice.
And so I was writing, producing, I was on camera. Whole kit and caboodle, and that's what you learn in grad school for journalism or in school for journalism. You write, you shoot, you edit, and I learned all of that at DePaul, which I'm so grateful for. Mm-hmm. I always say it like this, but I wasn't making that much money doing .com, working for .com, mm-hmm. And I decided that I wanted to produce because I could make more money doing that. And fortunately, I have great family and friends who have supported me in every dream that I have, because I'm such a dreamer.
We all are. Here we are, right?
Here we are. And I had a little less responsibility. So at the time, it was really nice that I could pursue my entertainment hosting dreams. And then some life realities happened, and I really needed to support my own self. Better than I was at the time. And so I ended up producing. I met a producer on a set. Everything has happened so purposefully. I really have not intended on certain things happening. The things that have happened to me have come in my universe. And I'm a God believer, so God has done all these things for me. He knows my heart, He knows where I want to go, and I'm grateful for the things that have occurred in my life. And so I ended up working for a small production company, Royal Interactive, and worked with them as their coordinator and office manager on music videos, commercials, and then got into documentaries. So once I started working on documentaries, I was like, oh my God, I'm storytelling. I love talking to people, and I ended up just having this ability to create a story and put it on film, and I had never had that before in that capacity, and fell in love. So I was like, okay, I received an associate producer title. I'm a producer, I'm gonna do this on my own. And Kayla, you just kind of run with what you're doing.
You gotta just do it. You gotta make it happen. So how did you get into line producing, and everyone wants to know what different producers are, so I think that's important for people to understand what one producer is doing, the next one is not.
Line producing.
It's okay.
I I got this opportunity through a friend who doesn't even work in the industry. Their godmother is one of the executive producers, and at the time I didn't have a position. And she was like, girl, you wanna interview for this? And I was like, yes, I do. I was interviewing for every position I could. Meet with people. If you wanna learn how to communicate better, go out for job interviews that you might not be qualified for or overqualified for. Just put yourself out there so you can interface with different people. That's really how you build your communication strength. So I ended up getting the position. I work for a gentleman named Michael Peacock. He is a staple in the entertainment industry, and I'm so glad to work for him and with him. Line producer is exactly what it says. They look at every single line on the budget. And what I'm even more grateful for is that I'm working on a incredible TV series. And I'd never worked in scripted TV before. Every week, it is a well-oiled machine. I will just tell you that about this line production job. Every week, my boss has a responsibility of making sure that his budget meets the standard of what the studio has set out at the beginning of the year. And in that order, all the departments on the crew are reporting to my boss. So you've got your art department, you have your costumes department, you have your writers department, you have construction, transportation, locations. Each department is giving a budget weekly, and it's a conversation throughout the week of how you're breaking down the script to know where the locations are, what the set is gonna look like, what the location will look like, the different props you need. There's props department that falls under art. You know, there's so many different levels to this. Your lighting, your grips, they are all reporting to my boss. I've been thrown into this position and I'm
Thriving.
I'm thriving. I started on Blackish, Grownish started a couple months after I began on the 5th season of Blackish, so it was the 2nd season of Grownish. And so now I'm working on 2 shows.
Awesome.
And my boss literally runs around
All day, probably, trying to get it all
the
together.
Disney lot, meeting with a whole different crew on Blackish, with a whole different crew on Grownish. And then this year the studios, you know, had my boss start line producing Mixed Dish as well. So thank goodness right now, you know, Grownish is down, or in between filming seasons, and it's now Blackish and Mixed Dish. And it's 3 totally different crews, so it's knowing people. And my biggest challenge, I thought, going into the position was just memorizing people's names. And I worked really hard at knowing who people were. And when you know people's, even just knowing their name, they feel respected, they feel valued.
Yes.
And they're, you know, happy to help you help them. So it becomes just like a symbiotic relationship.
What would you say to get your foot in the door? What's the most important thing, and how should people get their foot in the door? Should they just be applying online, or they should be networking? What should be going on?
Both. There are so many ways to find out about jobs in the industry. And actually, I've got a list of like 20 websites that you can apply to jobs, and I send that email whenever anyone is asking me for help looking for a job. I'm like, make sure you do these steps first. I will say, coming right out of school, my undergraduate career, I didn't have an internship that I was in love with. So grad school, I decided that right when the internship opportunities online opened, I was gonna apply. And I did. I applied to 20 different entertainment positions, internship positions, opportunities. Only heard back from CNN 6, 7, 8 months later. And lo and behold, I got the position. So
That's crazy.
definitely apply online. It can only help. And then once you're involved and surrounded with people in the industry, I just have had a good circle of friends. I went to Spelman. I have a handful of Spelman sisters.
How we met though? We actually met through Instagram, you guys. So
Yeah.
sometimes people have something to say about social media, but social media can be positive too. I mean, we met through someone that was actually following the show. Is an attorney.
One of my Morehouse brothers.
Yeah, one of your Morehouse brothers.
Daryl, shout out to Daryl.
Oh, okay, she's gonna call. I wasn't gonna call him out. But okay,
he deserves a shout out.
Yeah, he deserves it. This was a great connection. You know, two black women being able to connect in a town that doesn't look like us. This is definitely not Atlanta. Doesn't look like Atlanta. It doesn't look like Chicago as much. You know, so being able to connect, and you know, we can kind of bounce ideas off of each other and whatnot. So I'm very thankful, and job opportunities or whatever we need to do. I'm thankful for that, Daryl. So thank you so much. Thank you for coming.
Oh, you're so welcome. Thank you for, you know, inviting me.